What's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Can you actually play one of the most incredibly CPU-demanding shooters of the year on a budget entry-level graphics card paired with a 12-year-old processor? Today, we are taking a closer look at the finals, running on the AMD Radeon RX 6400. If you have been reading the forums or checking out hardware reviews online, you have probably seen a lot of hate directed at the RX 6400. Many tech reviewers write it off as a weak card. But here's the truth. After running my own tests, I discovered something very interesting. The graphics card might actually not be the main problem here. For this benchmark, I decided to pair the RX 6400 with an Intel Core i7-3770. Yes, you heard that right, an absolute relic from the DDR3 era. Now, why did I choose this? Because a lot of budget gamers are buying the RX 6400 specifically to upgrade older pre-built office systems. It seems like a perfect match on paper. But right out of the gate, we run into a massive hidden issue. The RX 6400 only runs on 4 PCIe lanes. When you plug it into an older Gen 3 motherboard, like the one we are using for the i7-3770, you instantly lose a chunk of its potential graphics performance. Combine that hardware limitation with the massive server-side and client-side destruction physics of the finals, and you have a recipe for some serious bottlenecking. The official minimum requirements for this game ask for at least an i5-6600K, so by using a 3770, we are deliberately stepping below the absolute minimum threshold. So, how does it actually run? At 1080p on the lowest graphical settings, the game can sometimes hit around 50 frames per second, but do not let that number fool you. The experience is incredibly unstable. Whenever a building collapses or a massive explosion goes off, the frame rate violently drops and you are hit with severe lag spikes. The processor simply cannot keep up with the chaos. It's constantly gasping for air, trying to calculate the destruction, the player movements, and the physics, all while the RX 6400 sits there waiting for data it is not getting fast enough. To make the game even slightly playable, I had to forcefully lock the frame rate to 30 frames per second. If you do this, it actually stabilizes the frame pacing just enough to enjoy a casual match. It's not ideal, especially for a fast-paced competitive shooter, but if this is the only hardware you have, it works in an absolute emergency. This brings me to my final conclusion. Running an RX 6400 can work reasonably well, but your main enemy here is the processor, not the graphics card. The real issue lies entirely with the CPU bottleneck and the older PCIe Gen 3 interface. The RX 6400 actually has some fight left in it. To prove this, I'm going to be testing this exact same graphics card again very soon, but next time we will pair it with a much stronger modern processor. We need to see exactly how much performance we are leaving on the table and find out if the RX 6400 can finally redeem itself when it's not held back by a prehistoric CPU. Stay tuned for that benchmark, and make sure to subscribe right now so you don't miss any of the upcoming updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.